Ebusua ha Tvghana so said no by channel na first time I message so be like no share stories no we are hit the subscribe button no any notification bell no so now tier stories so we are comment section has na watch wadwe and a UK bar council and a Commonwealth lawyers ebusua there some directives be aba ye my mo has say say hwe ni mu say NDC aban betime de sa directive fee aye adwuma na directives on the ba ye and so ama Attorney General and Minister of Justice Mr. Dominic Anyi Obabe kasa afasa nsem no ho amede nsem ni nyina ebrew na abusua directives on the free UK e de ababe PM e Ghana ne say the suspended Chief Justice ma me get through no they say omo sign reinstate no immediately without delay because of which ma omo review all the processes and charges in near nyia NDC aban we etimi gina so e de suspended ma me no who say charges on the abo ma me nyina it doesn't make sense nyansa bia ni entasumu and it just enye on legal basis set a whole chief justice with me president to me abusing the power to the extent of suspending the chief justice just like that on the basics of mere allegations and sana maybe to me I suspended obi a oye chief justice or my be mono. I just say ye mu investigations I hold up but my suspension no came at the time say go for me competition president na so be tonight the baby throw allegations be no competition president the president said my suspend me ye mu I was saying mu di kan etimi ekoso and sana say verdict be abeba mo suspension be ba mo de ama no to kwan o mo fa so suspend ma me no enye ne kwan so no mo san so hwehwe mu no mo hu say hwe ni ho abusana we I expose ye man mu ha I expose you democracy ni so much to the extent say ne hu say politics no ye de wura judiciary system no abe reality pa because o hwe charges a omodi abo maami say why say no watu kwan or the new kunu ko no watwa plane ticket ama on new kunu or use state funds or misuse state funds na busha hwe charges ni nyina na hwe nipa no so na appointment letter ne niema o entitled to anka ne kwan so no but na ho aso ko media ne so yeah so many people are omokasa about maame no ni niema bi a waye under the MPP government or mujidi ye say oh monu susue mu no entwa ye bet Ghana ha ye de mra na ye adwuma mra na ye de ye adwuma ne say wuntimi nsore preko pe ye were three arms of government obi a na adwuma separately but obi a check on each other and no kire say president mitma abusing the power na to the extent so be kasa ba suspend obi without any solid proof without any solid evidence that Mr. Dominic Ayen Ababe responded to our directives na if we UK bar council ne Commonwealth lawyers and one could you could in some no chile moon and Commonwealth and then the honor so the two we are no watch away.
Bar Council of England and Wales and the Commonwealth Lawyers Association have demanded an immediate reinstatement of suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo to office. In a joint statement on Thursday, August 14, 2025, they said the reinstatement should be done without delay. Now, I want to show you highlights from that statement real quick. Now, there it is. That statement's coming from the Bar Council of England and Wales, and then the Commonwealth Lawyers Association. It says suspension of Chief Justice is in clear breach of Ghana's constitution. Judges under Ghana's laws should only be subject to suspension or removal only for reasons of incapacity or stated misbehavior. And then decision of investigative committee, to permit petitioners to use witnesses instead of attending themselves to answer questions. That's not follow due process. And then the disciplinary proceedings should have been resolved in a timely manner. I know some of these things are very familiar with for you, and if they are not, they very much resonate with what we've heard from the Chief Justice over time, how her family is not allowed in the hearing area, how she feels intimidated over and over again. She's taken a number of cases to court as a result of what she thinks is not a fair process for her removal. Now, and the demands from the UK Council or Bar Council is that the Chief Justice is reinstated immediately, afford her due and fair process in the investigation and determination of the disciplinary matters brought against her. provide clear and transparent rules of procedure to guide the disciplinary process, which must include the time frame within which the investigating committee must conclude the disciplinary process against the Chief Justice. So that's a summary of what we're hearing from the Bar Council of England and Wales and the Commonwealth Lawyers Association. Yeah, but I'll bring you some reactions from social media. I do want us to look at what the Attorney General is saying in response to this demand or these demands from the Bar Association or the Bar Council of England and Wales, and that statement came in the last few minutes just before we came on the air, right? And it goes straight to the point. So I'm going to read just a few for you. The government of Ghana acknowledges the joint statements, expressed concern for judicial independence and commitment to constitutional governance within the Commonwealth. It is, however, a matter of serious concern that the BCEW, which is the Bar Council of England and Wales and the Commonwealth Law Association, issues the joint statement without first acquainting themselves, even in very basic ways, with the relevant constitutional provisions and the material facts of the matter. And on that note, they outline the material facts of the matter up until May 15, 2025. So I'll move on to point 6 on this, because that's where a response to the BCEW and the CLA come. It says it must therefore be emphasized that there has been no constitutional breach or executive overreach in the consideration of the 3 petitions, and these petitions are those for the removal of the Chief Justice. Applications for interlocutory injunctions and judicial review brought before both the Supreme Court and the High Court by the suspended Chief Justice and her associates, in an effort to restrain or halt the inquiry committee proceedings, have been duly considered and dismissed by the courts as lacking in merit. We feel considerably reluctant to mention that the sound, including the very words of the BCEW and the CLA joint statement, vividly clones the dismissed grounds with which Her Ladyship Justice Tokonu, and I mentioned this already, that some of the concerns raised by these 2 associations of the UK are very consistent with what the Chief Justice has been saying over time, very consistent with the Ghana Bar Association U-turn on this matter. And the Attorney General makes the same conclusions, right? Because he goes on to say that Justice Tokonu, the CJ, and her associates canvassed before the Supreme Court and the High Court. It is also important to mention that Justice Tokonu has presented similar arguments in her case before the ECOWAS Court, which the government of Ghana is defending on behalf of its citizens. That the government of Ghana remains strongly committed to maintaining the independence of the judiciary, separation of powers, and the rule of law. I'll end there, because that is the crux of the matter. As the Attorney General fends off any suggestions otherwise to maintaining a transparent process being unfounded and risk distorting a constitutional process that is being conducted fairly, transparently, and in accordance with the law. So essentially, that's what the Attorney General has said in the last hour of the night. The concerns and demands by the BCEW and the CLA of the United Kingdom absolutely have no basis in the process against the Chief Justice at this time. I wanted to show you some of the reactions from social media. But what we are learning is that some of you are not happy because you see this as an interference, and I only have one question. Why? You think about that, or maybe the BCEW should think about that.